guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is going to be about making plans. You know, making plans are my favorite things in the whole entire planet. I'm Asmara Mitchell. This is the Queenie for President YouTube channel, and we're back with another one. So plans, what am I on about? I'm always talking about making these elaborate plans for your future. How are you going to stick to them? How are you going to make them in the first place? What are you even going to write in your plan? Let's explore. I've touched a little bit on my plans that I've made as a parent, you know, ahead of time being pregnant, figuring out what I wanted to achieve. And now all of that's out of the way, and I've pretty much got to where I wanted to get to with my daughter, you know, getting her on the right track. I want to talk a little bit to you guys about the sort of plans I've made that have worked and ones that haven't. So let's start with the plans that haven't worked. Mostly the ones that haven't worked are ones that have too many goals to achieve. I have previously I started with, like, say, a list of 20 goals for the year, which included things like going on a holiday, saving a certain amount of money. And for the most part, I managed to get them done. But what I found I was doing was challenging myself to a point where I wasn't giving enough freedom for alternatives and other things to happen. So the first thing you do with your plans is set smaller goals. Smaller goals, more achievable, and maybe instead of doing 20, do like 5. Another thing that didn't work when making plans was not referring back to it. So you can always write your plan down, but if you don't go back and look at it, review your plan a week later, a month later, a year later, you'll definitely, firstly, not see the progress that you've achieved, and you may actually forget what you wanted to do in the first place. So a brilliant tip to combat that is to write your plan in a place that you always frequent, whether it's your laptop, if it's on your wall, if it's in your phone, on your notes. And some people, I think, go as far as to putting post-it notes around their house. So whichever works for you, put your plan in place and in a place where you can see it. So things that have worked with my plans, I have written them out and typed them out. I've made charts, I've put things on the wall. So essentially what I'm saying is, using a combination of everything, putting your plans in lots of different places can really, really be helpful. I've used art, like, for instance, drawing elaborate words that I want to keep in my mind. Like, for instance, I'm planning to become a commercial lawyer, so I have that written up somewhere in really nice writing, which just reminds me constantly of the goal, and it's always there and I see it every day. Another thing I've done is written out charts on my computer. So one thing I like to start with is a personal development plan. I got this from the idea that even in school, when you're in primary school and your teachers give you the annual reviews or your tri-annual reviews, they give you lists of objectives that you need to work towards and things that you've not quite done so well at. And we know that during parents' evenings or conversations with your teachers, they always refer to that plan. And even when you're in trouble, you will get, even if it's at work, you know, they will lay out a structure and a plan of things they want to see you do to improve. So personal development plans are brilliant for you to start improving yourself from home. So my personal development plan would start with something like a list of skills that I'm good at, why I'm good at them, how I can improve those. And it might go on to talk about a list of skills that I want to be better at. An example is perhaps I want to get better at posting more videos. So I would work out why I don't post that many videos, and I would work out how I can do more of that. So one of the things might be to create a designated space to film videos, which is something that I have done, which helps you to go ahead and be prepared to get on with what you need to do. One of my favorite plans to make, and one of the most fun plans to make, is my 1-year plan, 5-year plan, and 10-year plan. I absolutely love those, and I think those have helped me to achieve the most in terms of goals that I didn't think I could achieve. I mean, this could even be broken down into weekly plans and monthly plans. So for a monthly plan, you might put your diet on there. Say you want to diet, say you want to eat healthily. You might say, okay, 2 days out of the week, I'm going to make sure I eat some fruit, make sure I drink X amount of water, and having that written down somewhere can be really, really useful. I spoke previously about some of the things I put in my 1 year plan. Sometimes I did put too many things, and I'm not saying it's not a good idea to put so many things, but it can be easier if you have a few less goals that you want to achieve in a 1 year space. In my 5 year plan, you might have bigger goals, things like a total amount of savings, some purchases you might want to make, trips that you might want to take, and projects you might want to complete. Your 10 year plan, or looking into your future, depending on your age, it might include career goals, it might include business goals, it might include family goals, it might include things that you want to own that are much, much more expensive. So writing all of that down can really, really help you to stick to that path. Again, all these things are really good as a parent. When you sit down with your children and you find out things they want to achieve within those spaces of time, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, you're not only bonding and getting to know each other, you're also giving them the insight to want to think more about their future, which I think is absolutely wonderful. So most of the top jobs and big careers, keeping a track of what you're learning, how you're learning it, and how you're going to improve yourself really, really can help your career progression. And a lot of the biggest lawyers, doctors, whatever careers you find respectable and maybe are interested in doing yourself, you will know that they have notes and charts of their own self-development, their own progress, and some people have to do it as part of their jobs. I mean, some people have to fill out pages and pages and pages of booklets which illustrate the work they've done over the past year or 6 months and how they got there, how they achieved it, and what they think they can do to improve. This helps companies to improve their systems, to improve their training programs. So imagine what you're doing for yourself. If you're doing this at home, either for yourself or for your families, creating plans, then you're also working out ways to improve your family life and improve the tactics and techniques you're using at home. Amazing and brilliant thing you can put in your plans are skills that you'd like to learn. So I know some people that can't cook, and you may not have the means to go out and buy the ingredients now, but maybe within 5 years, you might want to learn a certain amount of recipes, which is on one of my lists. I think I wanted to learn how to make like mille feuille, which is like some Michelin star type restaurant dishes, and I think that can also be amazing, even if you just want to learn a certain type of soup or a certain type of pasta or a certain type of dish from another country. Brilliant, brilliant skill to learn. Also, maybe you want to do something sporty, football, mountain climbing. Maybe you cannot swim, maybe you cannot ride a bike. You can put that in your 5 year plan or your year plan, which I'm guaranteeing if you're looking back at that on a weekly basis, you're going to remind yourself, oh yeah, I wanted to go for a run. I wanted to go for a long walk. I wanted to go down to the park and use the exercise machines in there. Whatever means you can use to achieve your goals. And another amazing thing about making plans for your kids and your families is the fact that if something should happen to you, this is geared mostly to parents, this comment. If something happens to you, then you've laid out a long-term plan for your children that can help them moving forward to make sure that they're not at a loss of not having you present in their lives. And similarly, if you are an amazing genius who lives by themselves and has loads of brilliant ideas and something should happen to you, you will have lots of documents illustrating things you've wanted to do, and you might change the world. You never know if somebody gets a chance to read that, read your journal, read your notes. Plans, notes, and charts are brilliant structures. So for some things which require a lot of information, like a career change, there might be loads of different elements that you need to apply to your career change. There might be lots of different small parts that you need to learn about and you need to have in mind. So making notes on individual things and learning to break things down can really help your learning in the future and help your growth. That's it for this one. It was just a quick one on making plans. It's one of my favorite things to do. I'll probably go make another plan today about, let me think. I might make a plan I might improve my personal development plan today, which I absolutely love updating and reviewing. So get to making plans, share them with me. Let me know what you think about making plans. If you're hesitant about doing it, tell me why. Maybe we can have a discussion about it and help you to want to get on that path and that track. And best of luck. Bye-bye.